I was just a lost kid. They said, we have a big decision to make. I was just trying to fit in the world. But I still remember about it. That led to the evolution. काफ़ी सारे लोग लाइफ में ऐसे फेज में होंगे where they just feel lost. They don't think they belong to the group of people they're hanging out with, and that just makes them feel lonely. Interestingly, it takes me to a phase when I was in 7th standard school mein. That's when the consciousness hit my mind and I started figuring out and seeing the world as it is. So उस time पे I had to make very important decision about my life. और वो decision ये था कि मैं किन लोगों के साथ hang out करने वाला हूँ and why. So there were 2 groups in my school and every school would have that kind of people. One group was the goody-goody group who would always do good in academics and they would always focus on their studies. They would be in the good books of teachers and parents. So I gave it a shot and I spent like a day with them, but I couldn't survive the day. Mind you, they made me feel so holy
Lord is here tonight.
about my life and everything that I felt like a saint.
And just worship God.
And I certainly didn't want to be a saint. And I gave up on the idea of being around them. Now, the second group, which used to be the naughty group, and they would do all sorts of things, miss the classes, go and speak to the opposite sex, and they were doing all sorts of things which would give them adrenaline rush and fun. So I decided to join this group.
Yeah, boy.
Because that was gonna give me more life experience in the real world scenarios, not just in terms of academics, because they were never doing good in academics anyways. Now mind you, when I joined this group, I was having all sorts of fun. We were getting into fights. It was just getting crazier every day, going to girls and speaking to them, mingling up with them, having all the confidence in the world, standing up for yourself. It was all sorts of cool things. But it came with certain drawbacks. At times, लोग उन ग्रुप्स में इतना ज़्यादा एक्सट्रीम स्टेप्स ले लेते थे that they used to cross all sorts of lines. Suddenly they would seem vulgar to you, they would be disrespectful to people. That made me realize after a few months that I don't belong here either, because I'm not gonna be a person in my life who's gonna be a bad example for everybody or bad example for my own life as well. So I didn't know what to do. School में अकेले मैं घूमना नहीं चाहता था because people had a taboo back then that if you're hanging out alone in your school, you're some weird guy and everybody's gonna ignore you. I was just trying to fit in the world, and the world was like that only. But suddenly, वो cool group started getting messier and messier as we grew old. By the time I was in 9th standard, my parents were called in the school and my teacher said, your kid has failed in all the pre-boards and he's gonna fail in finals as well. We are pretty sure about that. So what do you want to do? And my parents decided they will pull me out of the school. And I remember crying so much in front of my parents and begging them that don't take me out of the school because I've given up 10 years to be comfortable around people and I don't want to start from scratch again. It was horrifying. But my parents didn't listen to me. They said, we have a big decision to make for your life and this is what is going to happen. You're getting out of the school. So it was chaos. I didn't like that part a lot. But what I didn't know was what's coming next. Getting out of my own school and joining the new school gave me a lot of time to think and reflect on things. What I figured out was, जो naughty group होता है and the cool people that you think they are very cool, they don't really care if you get cut down from the group. I was expecting कि वो लोग they would come and hang out with me, but they didn't. They just went on with their life. So I decided कि मैं नए स्कूल में जाके लोगों को ज्वाइन नहीं करने वाला हूँ. मैं कोई ग्रुप ज्वाइन नहीं करूँगा. I'm just gonna be by myself because it's just gonna be 2 or 3 more years before I get out of my city and join a college. That gave me so much of time to think why the world is like that. Why do we have certain tags, good and bad people, and why can't we have something of our own? For the very first time in my life, I felt power. A power that I never felt before. That led to the evolution of being alone and understanding the power of being alone and how you can build things from scratch without being in the stereotypes that the world has defined for you. But I remember उस टाइम पे मेरे relatives कुछ आते थे and अपने बच्चों के साथ आके they tried to humiliate me. They would pat on my shoulder and they say कि you know होता है, कुछ लोग इतने ही bright होते हैं, वो नहीं कर पाते, सबका दिमाग एक सा नहीं होता है. And that used to kill me from the inside that I was just a lost kid. I didn't concentrate on anything, but I was just focusing on belonging somewhere in the world. That turned my life. And 180 degree पे flip कर गई and suddenly I was this guy who's listening to his own instinct that I don't have to please people anymore. I don't have to be around people anymore. If I am gonna be in a certain way and I'm gonna attract my tribe. And that is what happened exactly. That followed in the next few years. Life just happened to change and वही रिलेटिव्स जो मेरे घर पे आके मुझे टॉन्ट कर रहे थे और मेरे ऊपर कमेंट कर रहे थे, दे स्टार्टेड गिविंग मी कॉल्स आफ्टर सर्टेन ईयर्स बिकॉज आई वाज इन अ गुड पोजीशन नाउ आउट ऑफ द सिटी, लिविंग माय होल लाइफ एज somebody who never gave up and just built his own path. Now they are calling me and asking me for counseling for their kids, and that made my parents so proud. I still remember about it and I still get emotional about it. But being lost in life does not mean that you're gonna be lost for the rest of your life. It just means that you're going through a phase जो शायद अभी आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, but the dots are gonna connect. तभी ये बोला जाता है when you are walking through hell, just keep walking, because someday you're gonna look back and you're gonna see that all the dots connected well. That right there gave me something which became the blueprint for the rest of my life. बिकॉज दुनिया में लोग आपको सिर्फ एक तरह से देखते हैं एंड दे हैव ए रिजिड माइंडसेट जो उनको उनकी जनरेशन्स के थ्रू मिला है, बट डज नॉट मीन दैट वट एवर दे आर सेइंग अबाउट यू इज गना बी ट्रू बिकॉज नोबडी हैज सीन द फ्यूचर. But you as a person have to be genuine about what you feel from the inside, and you have to be genuine about not forcing yourself to join anybody in life for doing certain things just so you can be cool in front of them. And being cool is not acting in a certain way. Being cool is about how you are and how you still choose to be who you are when everybody else is trying to act in front of you to be cool. If you're lost in life and if you're in high school, college या job में या in general life में, I want to tell you that you are gonna cross this phase and you're gonna shine if you listen to your heart and you don't give up on being the raw and genuine version of yourself. Because the world tries to break that version, the societies try to break that version of you. They don't want the real you to be real you. They want you to act in a certain way जो society में fit in होता है. That's what I learned from my childhood experiences. So stay hard and keep walking through the shit that you're going through. One day you're gonna see the bright side. I'll see you in my next video.